If you're about to take a settlement from your insurance company because of the total loss or significant damage to your property, then you're going to want to watch this video. This video is part of our series called Rebuild and Build Better. So be sure to like the video, subscribe to Undercover Architect's channel, and then hit the bell so that you're always notified when we publish a new video. Getting the best results from your insurance claim requires on you being informed about how to navigate that process confidently. And so in this video, you'll learn some key information about the insurance claim process and what to do if you're being offered a cash settlement. I'm Amelia Lee from Undercover Architect, and I help and teach homeowners how to get it right when designing, building and renovating their family homes. In this interview, I speak with David Keane from Solve My Claim. David Keane's been in the insurance industry for over 24 years now, and he created Solve My Claim to help and assist homeowners navigate their insurance claims and disputes. In the last 3 years alone, Solve My Claim has helped homeowners secure more than $24 million in additional insurance claim settlements. So let's dive in. So, David, I've seen a lot of the reports, particularly from the Victoria 2009 fires. I've been researching a lot of what happened in the aftermath of that. And there was a lot of talk at that time about insurance companies kind of swooping in and really pushing people to accelerate themselves through that assessment process and then settling claims, handing out checks basically so that they could walk away. And a lot of homeowners who had suffered huge amount of trauma and loss and not really being in a state to make informed or strategic decisions about their future, then kind of stuck with whatever they'd been given and in a real, in a far worse position than they were before the whole thing started. So how have you seen, that potentially for some of the disasters that we've been experiencing lately? And what's your advice around that process of dealing with your insurance company in that kind of really traumatic state?
Sure. Yeah, look, there's a lot of those cases, and the 2009 fires, I think, were they the Wye River fires that you're referring to? Yeah, the Wye River fires were actually,
yep.
yeah, they were highlighted in the Royal Commission, actually. I was down there with a couple of my cases, and that was one of the big issues that the Commissioner took, particularly AAMI or AAI to task about. Because in their case, it was one step worse. They tried to get people to accept early settlements on a policy that didn't even have a sum insured. It had what they called complete replacement cover, CRC. And so in the way it had been advertised was no matter what it costs us, we'll rebuild the house. But what it worked out to be was, okay, our builder says 300 grand. We're not actually going to rebuild the house. Here's 300 grand, now go away. And so people were significantly affected by those decisions. You have a different approach from different insurance companies. Some won't go for those early settlements and they want to try and get everything right. And the alternate problem is you end up 12 or 18 months down the track with no settlement. But when you're offered easy and quick money from an insurance company, I would always advise people don't take the easy or quick money, particularly if it's a settlement. If it's emergency funds, different story. A good insurance company should have already offered people 5 or 10 or 15 grand of emergency funds to start replacing contents and just start the process of getting your life back. And I'm not referring to that type of payment. So after that, when you're looking at settlements, if it's an easy and quick settlement, and if you don't have independent verification that that cost is both fair and reasonable and complete, then don't take it under any circumstance. It can be easy to think, 300,000 or 400,000, yep, that's plenty of money. I'm sure I can rebuild for that. But if you haven't done the homework and you then find out that it's 700,000 and you've accepted a settlement, and more particularly if you've signed a release, which many insurance companies ask you to sign, you may not be able to come back for any more, even if you would have been entitled to it. So I would always urge caution. And one thing that I say in many of my conversations and posts is just because an insurance company tells you something doesn't make it right. Now, it doesn't make it wrong either, but it's just the insurance company's perspective. And you are the homeowner. You are the one who has taken out a policy. You're the customer, and you are entitled to everything that you've been paying thousands of dollars for over many years. Now, I don't mean that in a mercenary sense. You don't go after them for every possible cent and, then some more. I'm not talking about that. But what I am talking about is an insurance company is in this business for their own interests, not for yours. and understand that very clearly. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's business. Most businesses are in business for a profit. So understanding that, then, if they offer you something quickly and easily, you've got to ask yourself, is there something behind this? Are they saving money themselves from otherwise what they would be up for if we went and got all of the assessments and the bushfire assessments and everything else that's required? Is this money too easy and too quick? And so I would always say get independent verification of anything you are told, particularly when it comes to costs, scopes, or a repair process.
Yeah, that's great advice. I think that I know that when we went through the GAP storms, and it was, obviously a far less significant endeavour for us than it was for some people in that area, and also particularly for the fires. But it was quite quick. It was quite amazing how quickly the insurer kind of swooped in, figured out what was going to happen, and then offered us this check, which was just ridiculously small. I mean, and we were fortunate that we had some clue about what it was going to cost to kind of rectify the damage that had occurred to the house. And then when you started to actually look at it in detail and see all the exclusions of what had not been considered or included in that settlement, all the red flags started going up. But
absolutely,
I can just imagine for people who have lost everything, having the wherewithal to kind of access the bandwidth to do that can be very challenging.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And this is something that insurance company staff can sometimes forget, because they do this every day. Your claim is one of probably 300 sitting on that claims officer's desk. And so this is second nature to them. The whole claim process, they know what to expect. They know what all of those ramifications, but they forget that you don't. This is probably the only time in your life that you've been through this. Most people are incredibly traumatized, incredibly stressed, and with a distinct lack of knowledge in this very specialized area of insurance and rebuilding. And so, and that's not in any way denigrating the consumer. The consumer doesn't need to have that knowledge because they pay for experts to give them that expertise. But within that knowledge vacuum, in some cases, insurance companies can sometimes forget to consider the needs of the client, or consider the fact that the client may even say or do things that technically might be wrong or technically might be incorrect because they're undergoing such a stressful situation. And they can sometimes be judged for that. Oh, you told us this 3 months ago. Now you're saying this. What do you mean? You're lying. It's insurance for a life. I've seen it all. And I spent 20 odd years on the insurance company side of the fence. So I managed claims in insurance companies for 11 years. I've been an assessor for 13 years. So I understand it from both sides. And the reason I started to solve my claim was because I saw so many people caught in a trap that was beyond them. They had all this expertise, in essence, acting against them, acting for the insurance company, and they really didn't know where to turn.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. You're ultimately just wanting to get what you've paid for and trusted that you would be.
That's right.
You would be entitled to after all these years of paying premiums. So, yeah,
absolutely right.
And you're right. The insurer's on the other side protecting their shareholders and their profit margin. So, yeah.
Did you find that helpful? Well, go ahead and pop your comments below. And whilst you're there, check out the other resources that we have to help you on Undercover Architect. They're all listed there in the description. Now, be sure to like this video, subscribe to Undercover Architect's YouTube channel, and hit the bell so that you're notified every time a new video is published. And we've also got these videos to help you out as well for further watching. As always, thank you for tuning in and for letting me be your secret ally. Until next time, bye.